Good morning and welcome to this episode of EXSIN Live. Today is end of the year. It's Christmas, 2 days away. I hope you get Christmas shopping done. We're going to talk about goal setting. We're going to make it very specific because we're going to talk about goals at the end of the year. So you at least try to set them before December 31st. And with that, we're hosting a live event on March 24th. The link will be in the comments for you to sign up and get on our goal setting ULA live event to learn more about how to set proper goals and get ready for the new year. Phil, how are you this morning?
I am cold.
Right.
It's colder than I like in the morning time.
Well, don't worry. It'll be 80 on Christmas Eve, so you'll be fine. You're going to be okay.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw
It was a beautiful day yesterday, so and it's been a busy morning for EXSIN already today. So
yeah. What? So did you shoot your commercial yet?
We did. We shot it this morning. I've got to edit it out. It was rough with clients, but it's all good. She needed this for our podcast she's doing tomorrow, or on the 24th. So it's all good. But I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about. And I think sometimes people set limiting goals. What do you think?
Yeah. And I think it depends on your age too. I'll just look at my own self. My goals used to be truly audacious and crazy. And as I've gotten older, my goals have become much more conservative. And it's no small wonder, I think, why I accomplished so much more as far as big things when I was in my late 20s, early 30s than I have in my 50s. And so that's something that I think you got to be conscious of and you got to look at.
Yeah. So the big, hairy, audacious goal, the space race goal, as I like to call it, is I don't care what age you are, it gets you going in the morning. If you are going for something bigger than life, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, and I'm not saying it's going to be impossible. What I'm saying is you got to focus on that one thing and do it. And a lot of times people follow the SMART philosophy, which is an amazing way to set goals and probably the best way to set goals that you can reach. But I would offer to everyone out there that every year you should set one crazy, big, hairy, audacious goal that's almost near impossible to push yourself and to get better and stronger. Professional athletes do not become professional athletes because they dream of being little leaguers, right? I mean, how many 10-year-olds you say, I want to play, at the Y, and that's all I ever want to do. Most kids I want to be a professional baseball player, and that's their dream. And then some of those really embrace that thought and work their entire lives to get there.
Yeah, and I think it's the same in business, or it's the same as if you run a nonprofit. It's the same if whatever the case may be. I think you got to have those things that stretch you, right? You got to have those things that push you and that make you uncomfortable. I think if you set goals, you're not a little bit uncomfortable, then you've probably not hit the mark. Is kind of a standard I know we talk about. I mean, you can't be 100% comfortable after your goal setting and have any real stretch goals. I mean, it doesn't work that way. And I think another thing people do that really messes things up is they don't tell anybody about their goals.
Yeah.
I think they'll set down. It's almost like it's top secret. Well, that makes it easy to not fight when it gets hard. If nobody knows what your goal is, if it's not a stated goal, if it's not a goal that's out there in your organization, if it's not something that you share with the people you trust the most in the world that you value, it's not really a goal. I mean, it's just not. It's something that you would like to see happen, if it's not too hard, but goals push you and goals make you get you out of your comfort zone. No doubt about
it. And one of the things that happens when you get outside your comfort zone, I don't care what age you are, when you push yourself outside your comfort zone, you grow. You learn lessons. You become a better person typically. You learn things you didn't know before. One of the things I love about our clients has been over the last few years watching them grow into these amazing business owners and stubbing their toe and falling on their face and crying and weeping and smiling and laughing. I mean, all the emotion they went through, but to see where they are now compared to where they were a couple of years ago is just astonishing. One of our clients asked me this morning, why did you guys want to work with me? And I simply told them, I said, because you are the future of our country. You're a small business. You can use help from guys like us. We want to help you. We want to see you successful. It brings joy to our heart to watch you grow.
Well, I think when you and I decided to merge, gosh, it's been almost 5 years ago, I think, Dave. It's been a while.
It's been a couple of years. Yeah, it's been
a couple of years. But when we decided to do this, a big part of it was because we both didn't feel necessarily fulfilled. We both had successful practices in our own right, but when we sat down and figured out that this was our way to continue to serve our country is by helping small business owners. That's not, I guess for some people, maybe that's a tagline or just something they throw out there. That's not the case for us. And I think that, why do we work with certain clients? When we'll get into a new client and one of us always looks at the other and says, well, if everything was going right, they wouldn't need us, and that's true. I mean, Merry Christmas, Matthew, our good buddy, Matt Wilson. But, I just think I think you've got to be committed to the process, and goal setting's one of them. Now, don't be this person. Please don't be this person. Don't spend a week working on your goals, and then you never look at them. You never pull them out. You don't know what they are. You're just going through. You're kidding yourself. You're just going through the motions. If that's all you're going to do, then don't do it.
So let's do the EXSIN challenge. Let's do an EXSIN goal setting challenge. If you're going to do your goals, I want you to print them up, and I want you to put them on a frame behind your desk. Print them on a sheet and put them on a frame behind your desk so you see them every day when you walk in or on your desk. If you really are serious about getting better, print them up. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. Yeah, and then and I think too, if somebody states a goal and let's say it's a personal goal, right? To get better care of themselves physically. And let's say they start out strong like so many people do, right? I mean, these next 2 weeks are going to be the worst 2 weeks.
Of the gym.
Oh, no.
Gym because everybody's going to get in shape, man. Everybody's going to start working out, and you won't be able to get on a machine or get on a bench press or a squat rack, or it's your 45-minute gym trip now is going to take you 2.5 hours. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's okay. Just hold on, because in about 2 to 3 weeks, they'll all be gone. So, but just – and I say that because it's the obvious one, right? It's the reality of what are you willing to do to get what you want, right? If I believe this, I think we all know what we need to do. We just aren't willing to do it. And so the first time something goes south a little bit and you get a little off track, you just throw your hands in the air and the goals go in the trash, and you just go back to doing things the way you did it before. I'm guilty of that in my past. I know everybody is. But the key is,
all of us.
Do you get back on track? And that's why having those goals, I love your idea about having your goals framed and right behind your desk where you look at them every day, or wherever you look every day, have them up. It kind of keeps it in your face, and that's important. I mean, that's important. You can't. If something's easy to give up on, and that's why I say quitting sucks, is because you do it one time, it gets easier every time thereafter. I mean, I grew up in a house where if you started something, you didn't quit. Didn't matter if you liked it. If you thought you were going to like it and you didn't like it, now you didn't get to quit. Wasn't allowed. Thought that was so mean. Thank God I was raised by parents that did that, yep. But we became in many ways, we've made it acceptable to just quit. I mean, you don't believe me? Look at the transfer portal in sports.
No, it's full right now.
My way. I'm just going to quit. I'm going to go over here.
Take my toys and go on. Maybe I'll get a better NIL bill.
Crazy, man. It's just crazy. So you got to really be dedicated to writing your goals down and make them stated goals, really get them out there to your sphere of people that will help you stay on track, that'll hold you accountable, and then you got to just stay the course.
So this is interesting, and I'm gonna go to a place you probably don't always want to go, but I'm gonna go there anyway. This morning in my devotional, Phil, I gotta share this with you because you said something that was right out of my devotional, yep. And it was the point of taking action. Exodus 14:15. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Why are you crying out to me, praying and not doing any actions? Tell the Israelites to move." So if you look at life, we can sit, hope, and pray for things our entire life, but if we don't take the step to that action, we will never reach the goal. And you see things like this in the Bible, you see it in business books, you see it every place. I don't care if you're not religious, that's okay. That's your choice. But an idea without action is nothing. Well, a goal without action is nothing.
if you don't plant the seeds, you can't reap
Yep.
the crop.
That's
I
fact.
mean,
That's
if
fact.
you don't make the sales calls, your chances of selling something are pretty low. If you don't show up every day and make the product, the chance of hitting the deadline on delivery probably ain't going to happen.
Oh no, that's a fact.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, you've got to be willing to work. I mean, that's the other thing. I got to quit saying this. One thing I've got to change. I see a lot of times where it appears that people are born with the desire of a billy goat. You know, the old story is a goat was born with the desire to die that day. I mean, it's like it's like just looking for a back door when things get tough. And I think and that's a broad brush statement. I'm not saying everybody's that way, because they're obviously not. Many more people are getting up every day, doing the hard work, doing what's necessary to be successful. I get that, but those people, I want you to continue to do that. But my hope is we can move some people to take control of their lives and to do the things goal setting wise and execution wise that it impacts their life in a positive way. You know, and unfortunately there's an endless supply of people that need that help. We see them all the time. I mean, we just do. You know, there's people out there that just aren't doing these things. They go through the motions of doing them, of goal setting, right? They go through the motions of saying they want to make change, but they don't do it. So goal setting is the first part. You got to set goals. You got to have a plan. You got to do all those things. But the most important part is executing on those goals. If you don't execute on them, save yourself the time. I mean, no.
No, that's don't get into that grind where you do all this work and then you quit. And I'm telling you, we're going to remind you this at the end of the first quarter, because by the end of the first quarter, you're going to be overwhelmed with everything and you're not going to get anything done.
Yep.
So we don't want you to be there. But what we want you to do right now is think about this. Set a one hairy audacious goal for yourself for the year. Okay. Set tactical goals and objectives that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. If you do those things specifically, it'll help you take the small steps to get there, and revisit these goals every month. And at the end of every quarter, revisit what you've done and adjust what you've got to do to reach your year-end goals. Period planning, right, Phil?
That's all it is. And I think you got to remember also that, you know, there are going to be days where you're flying like an eagle, and there's going to be days where you're going to be waddling like a duck. And like I always say, you just got to be an eagle more than you're a duck, and you're going to have a good year. I mean, and the reason I say that is, don't give up when you get off track. Don't give up. You're going to have a few days or maybe even a week or two where you say, I'm just tired, I'm so busy, I just can't go to the gym. You got to find a way to get back in there for your personal health, right?
Yeah.
Or you know, you're just grinding on this business goal and it's just not happening, and you get in a rut and you got to get through that, you know, and that's why you got to have people. And that's why, honestly, Dave, you know, when you go look at some of our peer advisory groups or the work we do with groups of CEOs or leaders, you know, the reason why I think peer advisory groups are so good is because everything's based off goals. Everything's based off stating them to a group. You work on them consistently. You don't, you know, people are there to encourage you. They're there to help you. They're not judging you. And I think that's what scares people with goals too, Dave, is people get ridiculed for having big, hairy, audacious goals. They get ridiculed.
Well, it didn't hurt Elon Musk very much.
Right. And for every Elon Musk, there's a million other people that get devastated because people don't listen.
We're not going to talk about this other people. We're talking about people that had those goals and got made fun of and get picked on and go out and just do it. Right.
Right. And I think the bottom line is though, you got to have that support system, is my point, to help you get through that, whether it's a peer advisory group or it's your inner circle of friends that you have, or whoever it is. You got to have people that are going to hold you accountable, but also lift you up and not ridicule you, because people ridicule people with big goals. You see it everywhere. Don't listen to that crap.
Noise.
It's noise. You know? I mean, misery loves company, right?
Oh, 100%.
So
you ready? So let's talk about. Are you ready for Christmas? You got all your gifts? Everybody ready? Good to go?
No, that's actually why I'm sitting in a vehicle. When we're done here, I'm getting ready to walk in and finish my shopping.
Well, that's good. I got to go down to the Senate and meet with people today. So,
Oh boy.
yeah, so
Why?
I'm going to go put a suit on.
Why?
For our clients, it's what we're doing. It's all good. So, get stuff done. So, anyway, so
Wow.
the big thing today is work on your goals to the next 10 days. You got some time off probably from work, got some family time. Take care of your family. Have a very, very, very Merry Christmas. If you're in Oklahoma, break out the flip-flops and shorts for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It's going to be beautiful. And with that, this edition of EXSIN Live, we are out of here.